Coming through, Judy.
Righto, welcome everybody. It's great to have a fairly good turnout for our centennial. Obviously 100 years ago we were born, today we're 100 years old. God, what a thing. Firstly I'd like to really welcome our life members to the event today, Colleen, Jean and Geoff. Unfortunately, none of them made it today, so that is unfortunate, but I'm sure he'll be thinking of us all today from Trinity. A special welcome to our distinguished guests. We have His Worship the Mayor, Phil Nixon. Where are you, Phil? He snuck up on me. Okay, and our chairperson of Bowls Taranaki, Grant Hassel, over there. So thank you for coming along to Grant. Right member and patron of Bowls Taranaki, Paddy Symes. Where are you, Paddy? Oh, by Grant. They stick together, these Bowls Taranaki people, but that's all good. So welcome everybody. Look, I just thought I'd take this moment to run through a little bit of our history. Some of you members haven't been with us that long, others have been here a long time, such as John Hall and Ian Spurtle and Kevin Hardigan, to name a couple. I won't put myself in that bunch, but I was probably there too. But a brief history of the club. There's been a few events that have happened along the way, and quite interesting really. The King Edward Park site was selected by the Borough Council of the time, way back in 1920. Okay, that's where the Park Bowling Club was formed. Up at the high school, for those that remember, some may not. And before I get there, in subsequent years, and I'm not too sure when, the history didn't really provide the detail that I needed. It was changed to incorporate the name Hawera. So it changed from Park Bowling Club to Hawera Park Bowling Club. So I'm not too sure of the year, but anyway, it happened. In 1971, the club was moved from the high school down to here. So the old club rooms, for those that did remember them, they did come here. They were put on the back of a truck and brought down here in 1971 or thereabouts. And that's when we kicked off our bowls here. So that was quite a moment in history to make way for the additions and so forth at the high school. That's just when I was joining high school, I think, at that time. Right, so the next big event on the club's history was on Monday the 23rd of February, 1998. A fire destroyed the place. So, the old clubhouse, which was a bit of a dive really, it was an old thing that we kind of patched up and made up and so forth, there was an opportunity to restart again. And that's what we've got here today, which is fantastic. So these, I should say, replacement club rooms, they were opened on Saturday the 22nd of August, 1998. And at the time, I think by memory, I was privileged to be the president to open the club rooms, and Audrey Dudunsky was the lady president of the time. Of course, we no longer have a ladies and a men's club as such. We're amalgamated. But at the time, it was a dual thing, and that has fond memories for me. In 2003, the two sections, men and women's, amalgamated into what we have today. 100 years on, we're proud to continue to be a major part of bowls in Taranaki, and hopefully that continues for another 100 years or more. I'd just like to acknowledge those people, and I'm not going to name them for fear of missing out on somebody, but those people that have contributed in some way to making today's event a success. We have a plaque, which is soon to be unveiled, which will commemorate our 100 years. We have a cake, which has been generously donated. We have the Mount View Lions ladies here today to look after our catering needs. No. Michael Herman is our roving photographer. You will get snapped, so be on your best behaviour, please. Things don't just happen. It's people like you, me and everyone else that make it happen, so just bear that in mind. Your Centennial Subcommittee continues to work hard towards the March event, which will be held on Taranaki Anniversary Weekend of 2021. It's not far away now. There's a hell of a lot more work to do, but it will be an event to remember. Trust me. That's all I'll say. A comprehensive booklet has been compiled by Judy Stewart. She's done a fantastic job, I might add. And that will be released, I should say, later on this afternoon for those that would like to take a piece of history away with you today. We will have other booklets available for those people that attend our event in March. And, it's just something to take away in terms of Hawera Park's history. So, that's me done, really. You've heard enough of me. We'll keep it short and sweet. I'll now ask Frank, our president, to say a few words.
Thank you, Kearin. As you know, I'm a man of very few words. Okay, I'm not grumpy today, so you're all right. It's a pleasure and a privilege for me to be the president of this year. I'm not going to say a lot, as I said. I thank everybody who is still here working hard for this club and who have helped to make this a great occasion. There'll be a lot of other things happening during the year because we won't let this year go without seeing it through very well. That's all I have to say. Enjoy yourselves.
Thank you, Frank. I'll now ask Grant Hassel, the chairperson of Bowls Taranaki Board, to come up and say a few words on behalf of the centre. Grant didn't know he was doing this until 5 minutes ago.
Well, Kearin, it's a bit like when you're sticking a team in fours and you swap over and you're 6 down. You weren't expecting that at the start of the head either, but sometimes you just have to eye up the line, determine the length, and do it. On behalf of Bowls Taranaki, congratulations to Hawera Park for reaching the significant milestone of 100 years. In the history of Taranaki Bowls, there's been nigh on 50 clubs. Unfortunately, more than half of them have now departed the scene. So, to highlight that achievement, I think is very worthwhile and worthy, and hence my appearance here today. My first recollection, I think, of Hawera Park actually wasn't physically here. It was in the early days of 1985 at Onehunga, when Morris Symes and Geoff retained their 2 lives to defeat Benvenuti and Cancian to win the Dominion Pairs title. And I think in looking back in the last 100 years, that is one particular achievement which would take a great deal of beating. Symes, of course, went on to represent New Zealand, and he most probably, to my mind, not necessarily the opinion of the board, but the opinion of the speaker, is the most significant and successful contributor to come out of this club. But it hasn't just been specifically Morris, of course. Him and Geoff both went on to win gold stars, as did your great friend and mine, Selwyn Lloyd, who won the Christmas Pairs to achieve that milestone down at the RSA Green some 17, 18 years ago. I told him before the competition started that he'd win it. He didn't believe me. He only did when they shook hands with Bruce Phillips when he conceded. Well done, Selwyn. And also, of course, Pauline Kennedy and Kristen Stamper have also achieved that elusive milestone of Gold Star status through the Hawera Park Club. Kristen was obviously added to that with a bar to her star as well. But it hasn't been just on the green that Hawera Park has contributed to Taranaki Bowls. It's obviously contributed through the administration. Fred Quinn was the first president, I believe, of the Taranaki Centre to come out of Hawera Park. Then followed Goodwin, father and son, the only father and son combination ever to be president of the centre. And then that very friendly, jovial chap in 84 to 86, Ethel Tippett, who left a mark both on the green and off the green as well. So they're just a few of the highlights that I can instantly recall of the significant contribution that Hawera Park has made to Taranaki Bowls. The president today, Ian Andrews, unfortunately can't be here. He sends his sympathy for not being here, his apologies, but he asked me to reiterate some of those comments that I have passed, and overall he said, please make sure that Kearin does not get touched. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Grant. I can't guarantee that, of course. Let's see what the rest of the afternoon does. But anyway, that's great. Thank you, Grant. I'll now call upon our Mayor, Phil Nixon, to say a few words as well. His contribution is also in the book, I should say, and you'll see that later on. But anyway, Phil, the floor is yours before we ask you to unveil this magnificent plaque that members are yet to see.
President Frank, Centennial Chairperson Kearin, members, distinguished guests, hey, congratulations, this is fantastic. 100 years of fellowship, 100 years of socialising, 100 years of competition. That is absolutely fantastic to think what this has done for the fabric of our community through sport, through Hawera Park Bowling. As Kearin said, it goes a long way back, and that means that because it was part of the park, there's been a long association with us as what is now a district council. Back then it was Hawera Borough, and so it's fantastic to be part of that. Obviously over those years you've had your challenges. Kearin talked about the tragic fire in 1998, but the resilience of a club like this is what has actually managed to achieve what you have here, and to see so many members here today, to see the greens in the picture that they are for what goes on here is absolutely fantastic. I really applaud you for what you have all done as a club and continuing this. We just heard that over half the clubs that did exist in Taranaki have now gone, but we seem to be able to keep that strength here. I mean, obviously the world is changing. There's been amalgamations around in South Taranaki recently, but it just keeps going. But you guys here at Hawera Park certainly have that strength and are able to keep it going. So well done to you all. I look forward to seeing what happens in the beginning of the next 100 years, because I certainly won't be here for the next 100 years that have been celebrated. But good on you people, and so all the best for your celebrations for today, and as you continue, as was said before, through the next few months to celebrate this great milestone in your club. So on behalf of the South Taranaki District, congratulations and all the best.
Thank you very much, Phil. Now, Michael, can you come over here, please, and give Phil a hand with the unveiling. This mastery piece of work that you're yet to see has been kindly provided by my Clegg Funeral Services. So off we go, Phil. The honour is yours.
So I have much pleasure in unveiling this plaque to recognise 100 years of Hawera Park Bowling.
Okay, I hope you all like that, members, because it's going to be here for another 100 years. All right? I won't be here to see it then, but let's look after it. I'm sure it's going to be a pride of place. Now, with that, I'll now invite everybody in. After they've had a wee closer look at the plaque, we'll go in for the cutting of the cake, the Centennial cake, before we get into afternoon tea proper and socialising grant.
You can see the green people are back at green.
Yeah.
Righto folks, make your way up so you can actually sight what's going to go on next. We are going to cut the Centennial cake. Our life members have got the privilege of doing this. So we've got Colleen, Jean and Geoff here. I think Geoff's going to eat it, the other's going to cut it, okay? But that's okay. Does anyone want to say something? No, they're shy, they're very shy, but that'll disappear. The whole cake is edible, including the photos.
Try if you like, careful with it.
Take control.
Mary now.
Hold on, Jeff.
Okay. Well done.
You can have the icing gift.
We may not eat the cake just yet, we might have afternoon tea first, but nevertheless, the cake is cut, it will be eaten, or some of it will be today. Yeah. Oh, Jean's taken the leftovers home, she likes cake. Alright, the format for the rest of the day, folks, is we will have a magnificent spread come out here in the next few minutes. That's been catered for by Anderson's Pies, and the Mount View ladies are looking after us in terms of the serving. Bar refreshments will be available, of course. Wouldn't be a bowling club without that. And when I'm ready, I will announce when we're going to have a happy hour. Now the draw on that is, it's not free. Buy one and you'll get the next one free. Alright, so you buy one, get a ticket, and you'll get the next drink free. Alright? But most of all, enjoy each other's company and fellowship for the rest of the afternoon, because that's what this is all about. Thank you very much.
That's cool, eh? Yeah, I know. At least you can see mine.
Oh, the drawings. Very
We're all recording for our wives, so they know we're here. We've even got hobbits in the front.
Ronald Young, never heard of.
Yeah, Ronnie Young.
Ronnie
Thank you. The girls are always the most and I said that the
Righto folks, afternoon tea is served, so you don't need to rush, there is plenty here, but make your way up and take a couple of items and enjoy it.
Because you have to be the sort of everything. And actually, one of the
Don't you get too close, mister.
Oh no, it's all about the beer.
Oh,
Is it?
oh good, good.
Oh, right, you like that? Now no. Come on, look at that camera.
Mama.